A strange object falls from the sky, and the first people to see its power are not scientists, soldiers, or government officials. They are two old people living alone. In a deserted area, two masked government agents arrive at an isolated home. An old woman meets them, terrified, and takes them to her van to show them her husband. The old man sits there whispering the same Spanish word again and again: rebirth. His wife says he had been blind for years, but after something fell nearby, his eyesight suddenly returned, like his body repaired itself. That is what the agents are here for. They demand to see the crash site. She leads them across the empty land, but all that remains is a burnt impact mark in the ground. Whatever fell there is already gone. The story then shifts to David. David is a mechanic at a car factory, but emotionally he is already broken. We first see him in a cemetery, speaking to the grave of his dead wife, Jane. He tells her the world has changed. Everyone is scared, the country is on edge, and people are acting like something terrible is coming. He mentions their daughter, Annabelle, returning home from college. Even while struggling, David is proud of her. She is the one good thing he has left. At work, the radio keeps painting the same picture. America and Iran are locked in war, and it worsens daily. Protests spread across the country, with crowds demanding more soldiers be sent into Iran. This operation has one name: Terminus. And because of it, the world is moving towards something far bigger than anyone understands. David's boss, Ned, gives him the bad news. The bank has cut them off. No more money is coming in, which means the workshop may not survive. David is already drowning financially, and now even his job is slipping away. As David leaves, a young man named Zach arrives, thinking David owns the place. He asks for work, saying he spent 3 years as a field engineer and will do anything. But David has nothing to offer. He tells Zach he came to the wrong place, gets into the car with his friend, and drives off, leaving Zach standing there humiliated. That night, Zach drinks alone in a local bar while the TV repeats war coverage. For Zach, it is personal, because Zach used to be a soldier. He served in Iran for only 2 weeks, and a man at the bar uses that to mock him, like Zach is a fake who barely saw the war. Zach tries to ignore it, but the insult cuts deep. A fight erupts. More men jump in, and Zach is dragged outside and beaten badly. David happens to be there. He steps in, fights back, and tries to help Zach escape. They break away, but one attacker grabs Zach's leg and rips it off. Then everyone sees the truth. Zach's leg is artificial. He didn't leave because he was weak. He left because he lost his leg in Iran. That is why he was only there 2 weeks. The men laugh and keep mocking him, but David grabs the prosthetic, returns it to Zach, and drives him home. Except Zach doesn't really have a home. He lives in a rehabilitation center, still trying to rebuild a life the war destroyed. When David returns to his own house, Annabelle is waiting. She even made him a birthday cake, but the warmth dies fast. She tells him she has been kicked out of college because the last 2 payments were not made. David is crushed. He begs for a few weeks and promises he will fix it, but Annabelle knows her father. She doesn't want him doing something desperate just to save her future. Late that night, David sits alone, drowning in guilt. He reaches for alcohol, but the bottle is empty, so he drives out to buy more. On the way, something in the sky catches his eye. A bright object rips down nearby, like a piece of the heavens has been torn loose. David swerves, crashes into a ditch, and is left badly injured, barely conscious. In those fading moments, he sees his dead wife, Jane, standing near him. Instead of running for help, David follows her. She leads him through the darkness to the impact site. And when David reaches it, the movie does not show what happens next. It leaves one question. Did David find a meteorite, or did that thing find him first? Scene shifts to David's daughter, Annabelle. The next morning, she wakes up to a completely empty house. David is gone. Annabelle knows her father has no work anymore, no reason to leave early, and the sudden silence scares her. She calls the police. They give her the usual answer: David hasn't been missing long enough, so she has to wait 24 hours before they can officially act. Annabelle can't wait. She goes searching. Every minute she waits feels like a door closing, so she grabs her keys and drives, telling herself she's being paranoid, even as her hands won't stop shaking. If the police won't move, she will, because he's all she has left. Her first stop is the garage where David used to work. She meets Ned, David's old boss. Ned respects David, but tells her the hard truth. Good men survive on hope, and hope doesn't pay bills. He also says he's sorry about her mother, but David isn't there. Annabelle keeps driving, following the same road David took the night before, until she sees his car lying upside down near the road. She rushes to it, expecting the worst, but it's empty. No body, no sign of where he went. She stumbles back to her own car, crying, ready to leave, and then she sees him. David is standing right in front of her, covered in blood and barely able to explain anything. Annabelle gets him into the car and rushes him to the hospital. In the hospital, David keeps seeing flashes of Jane, his dead wife, almost like she's guiding him, but to everyone else, it looks like trauma. A doctor asks Annabelle something strange. Did David once donate one kidney to Jane? Yes. The transplant failed because Jane's body rejected it, and that failure is part of why she died. The doctor has found something impossible. David's records say he should have only one kidney, but the new tests show two, and both are perfectly healthy. Annabelle is shocked, but she just wants her father alive. After David is released, she takes him home. That night, the TV news gets darker, and it feels like the whole country is holding its breath. Iran and China warn America that if it doesn't pull back, the situation could turn nuclear. It's not just politics anymore. The war is creeping into everyone's living room like a countdown you can't shut off. David admits he keeps seeing Jane. Annabelle tells him it's probably the crash. But that night, David has another vision. Jane appears outside and tells him to move the meteorite somewhere safe. Then she says he has to save their daughter, and shows him a future of nuclear fire and burning cities. David believes it. From that moment, he starts preparing for the end of the world. Meanwhile, at a government science facility, the two agents are told to stop chasing the meteorite case. With the war escalating and protests demanding more troops, their superiors want them focused on real national threats. But the agents already know this isn't a normal rock. What fell carried a living organism that restored the blind old man's eyesight. To understand how it worked, they killed the old man. Now his body is being studied in a lab like a test subject. The next day, David goes to Zach and offers him work. Zach is desperate enough to follow. David takes him to the crash site. Together, they lift the strange object and load it into the car. The moment Zach touches it, he feels something wrong. It doesn't feel like stone. It feels alive. They hide it in David's garage. That night, David comes home and finds Annabelle packing Jane's old belongings. She wants them gone because she thinks David is trapped in the past, holding on to a ghost. David can't let Jane go. He tells Annabelle he can't forget her mother like she never existed. At the rehab center, Zach's missing leg starts hurting badly. The pain grows, then blood seeps from the old wound. Zach realizes it started after he touched the meteorite, so he goes to David, terrified, asking what that thing did to him. David lays him on the couch and checks the object. The heat is drying it out, like a living creature struggling to survive. David brings Zach to it, and Zach places his hand on the meteorite. Tentacle-like parts slide out and wrap around his hand. The wound opens. Bone and flesh begin forming again, and right in front of David and Annabelle, Zach's missing leg grows back. Annabelle passes out. The next morning, she wakes up and sees Zach walking through the field on two legs, whole again. Now Annabelle and Zach have seen the truth. So when David tells them what he's been seeing, they can't dismiss it as trauma anymore. David explains a nuclear war is coming. He doesn't know exactly when, but the visions keep showing the same thing. They have to build a bunker, a protective structure strong enough to keep them alive through the blast, with the meteorite at its center. David says the design is already inside his mind, like the object planted the blueprint there. So David and Zach start gathering materials. David goes to a scrapyard owned by his friend Tony and pretends it's just a normal favor. Then, later that night, he takes Tony to a bar, keeps the drinks coming until Tony passes out and steals his keys. After that, David and Zach sneak into the yard and take whatever they need: metal sheets, equipment, parts, and even a cement mixer truck. They haul it all to an abandoned building and begin building the protective layer exactly the way David saw it. Meanwhile, the agents keep searching. They learn a second meteorite also fell, but when they reach that crash site, it's empty too. They collect what samples they can. The local sheriff mentions a nearby crash. A man named David survived without a scratch, and his missing kidney appears to have grown back. The agents understand immediately. David is their next target. Back at the lab, scientists study the alien organism, but its DNA makes no sense. Still, one fact is clear: it can heal a human body in seconds. Back at the facility, scientists run tests over and over, but the organism's DNA refuses to fit any category they understand. With nuclear war threatening the country, it should be secondary, but no one can look away. A single touch can rebuild what's missing, and that kind of power doesn't stay secret for long. The question isn't just how, it's why. While David and Zach keep working, Annabelle tries one more time to deal with the past. She brings out Jane's things and prepares to burn them, until the agents arrive at the house. One introduces himself as Agent Stipe and asks where David is. Annabelle says he's not home. Stipe and Lubinsky decide to wait inside. When David returns, they question him about the meteorite. David lies and says he remembers nothing after the crash, only waking in the hospital. Steep shows David photos of the old man they cut open after the first incident. It isn't just evidence, it's a message. It's a threat. David takes them to the garage and shows where the meteorite was kept, claiming the heat destroyed it, that it melted away. The agents don't fully believe him, but they leave for now. After they're gone, Annabelle confronts David. Why lie? If they want the meteorite, why not give it to them and end this? David tells her to trust him. Jane showed him what's coming, and the object is the only way they survive. Annabelle snaps. She says David wasn't there when her mother died, and the guilt is eating him alive. To her, David isn't being chosen by a miracle from space. He's a grieving man so desperate to see Jane again that his mind has turned her into a hallucination. Then Annabelle walks out, and David is left standing there with something more dangerous than the agents. His own daughter no longer sure she can believe him. The next day, Annabelle goes to Zach's rehab center. She catches Zach trying to convince one of his army friends to come with him. The man lost a leg and an arm, and Zach believes the meteorite can heal him too. To prove it, Zach shows him his restored leg, but his friend isn't amazed. He's tired. He says it doesn't matter. Nuclear war is coming and everyone will be dead soon. He doesn't want miracles now. He just wants to drink with the people who still understand him. Zach realizes he can't force belief, so he leaves. The moment Zach and Annabelle step outside, the agents are waiting. They grab both of them and haul them away. Meanwhile, David has his own problem. Tony, the scrapyard owner David stole from, shows up furious and demanding answers. David tries to calm him down, but it turns into a physical struggle. David accidentally kills him. He freezes, horrified. He was trying to save his daughter, and now this mission has made him take a life. Later, he burns Tony's body, not because he's heartless, but because everything is moving too fast. The war is getting closer. The agents are hunting him, and David believes there's no time left. On the other side, Zach and Annabelle are tied up. Agent Stipe reads Zach's file and sees the truth. Zach lost his leg in Iran, but now it's normal. Stipe demands to know how. Zach says nothing. Stipe mocks him, pressures him, and starts beating him. Zach still won't talk. Stipe questions Annabelle too, but she stays silent. Stipe keeps hurting Zach, trying to break her. Before it goes too far, David makes his move. He starts a fire outside to pull agents away, slips inside with a gun, catches Stipe off guard, and frees Zach and Annabelle. For a few seconds, it looks like they might escape. Then Stipe fires and shoots Annabelle. David's world stops. The one person he was trying to save is dying in his arms. He and Zach rush her to the hidden structure they've been building, the vessel with the meteorite inside. David believes the object doesn't only heal, he believes it can bring back the dead. He puts Annabelle inside and waits. Nothing happens. David breaks. All the work, the visions, everything was for Annabelle, and now she's gone. He nearly destroys the vessel, but just as he's about to set it on fire, Annabelle steps out alive. The meteorite brought her back. Before David can even breathe, the agents arrive. Stipe shoots David, and he collapses. Zach grabs a gun and fires back. Stipe is hit. Lubinsky gets caught in the chaos. Zach is wounded too, and then they hear it. A distant blast. Nuclear war has started. In the sky, an explosion rises up over everything. Now there are only seconds left. David knows he won't survive. With his last strength, he helps Zach and Annabelle into the vessel, tells Zach to take care of his daughter, and seals them inside with the meteorite. Outside, Stipe screams for David to open it. David refuses. He's dying anyway, and he finally understands. The object was never meant to save him. It was meant to save them. As the blast wave closes in, David sees Jane one last time. She is his goodbye. Inside the vessel, water fills the chamber. Annabelle and Zach sink into a deep sleep beside the alien object, while outside nuclear fire wipes everything away. Then the story jumps forward. Not days, not years, but centuries. The vessel finally opens. Annabelle and Zach wake up to a world that isn't their world anymore. Humanity is gone. The radiation has faded. Nature has taken over the ruins. Everything old has ended, but they are still alive. And in this empty new world, Annabelle and Zach may be the beginning of humanity all over again. That is where Terminus ends. Not with the world being saved, but with two people surviving long enough to start it again.